So what did Neville Goddard teach about inspired action? How do you know when it's inspired action? How do you know when you're just not being impulsive or emotional or ego-driven? My name is Mr. 2020. You are listening to the Power of Imagination podcast. Neville Goddard says, all that you do, all that befalls you, that comes from your state. All of it. The state that you are in determines all that you do and all that befalls you. This has been going on for your entire life, but you see, we buy into this illusion of having free will to choose, to choose, to choose, to choose. Neville Goddard says free will ends after you choose your state. You can identify yourself with any idea, with any ideal. Once you do that, that idea takes over. This is why we love identity-based manifesting. I'll do a crass commercial on that later. I get to choose to be a happy, loving husband. And when I'm in the state of happy, loving husband, would you believe that there's no temptations out there? There's no lusting in here. I can't help but buy her flowers. God, I had the most fun on her birthday playing a trick on her. Oh, she thought that I was giving her a meal that she didn't like. Meanwhile, I snuck some good food into the house. Made her day. Can't help it. By the way, I didn't choose to do all that. That just happens. The inspirations, the ideas, the spontaneous insights, oh my God, she's going to love this, they just show up. And so does everyone else and everything else that needs for that to happen, for the part to be played. Everyone plays their part. There's no such thing as inspired action versus uninspired action versus ego-driven versus all this stuff that people use as an excuse to not notice what state they're really in. The state of happy, loving teacher can't help but lovingly teach this stuff. And point out, hey, if you want to have speedy success, if you want to let this be easy, you let it be about the ideal, the idea that you are currently associating with, because that's all it's about anyway. In other words, moment by moment, you get to notice what state am I in. Moment by moment. And if you find yourself in a shit state, have a giggle and move into a good one. In other words, something you desire, something that reveals lovely and beauty in your world. In other words, stop struggling. In other words, if you're honest, if you're really honest with yourself, you know what state you're in. The state of happy, loving husband buys flowers because he loves her. If I was in a different state, like worrying if she was going to leave me someday for a total stranger or, for someone that I know. See, if I was in that kind of a state, small, insignificant, insecure, if I was in that kind of state, I'd probably still buy her flowers. But it would suck, wouldn't it? I'd be buying her flowers to make her feel good, have her associate nice things with me. It'd be the same content, but a totally different process. Getting some gold? I'll give you one more example. I've got a state that's, let's just call it investor. Businessman who invests. I don't got a good name for this one. And here's what happens. A fellow that I adore on the internet, that I respect greatly, puts out an offer. $7. I take it. I don't even read the ad copy. As part of the upsell, hey, you want an hour of my time? It's $500. Sold. I'm in. Very rarely does he offer his time. and I get to spend an hour's worth of time with him. Did I make my money back? Quickly. You see, my state of investor, my state of businessman, has me dive into stuff like that. On the other hand, I could have a state that's doubt-driven. I could be doubting who I am. I could be doubting how this works. I could be doubting the economy. I could be praying that Bush or Obama or somebody else gets into office. Or I can accept something different. So here's the deal, gang. Stop torturing yourself with decisions. If you think you've got decisions where you don't, it's just because you doubt. You doubt your state. You doubt who you are. You're in a state of doubt. On the other hand, if you notice, you know what, I'm in a state of happy, loving husband. I find myself buying flowers and I enjoy them. Guess what they are? They're an investment. If I was in a state of doubting and denying, yeah, I'd probably still buy the flowers. But it would suck, wouldn't it? This is where you get to play. My name is Mr. 2020. Let's imagine up something yummy, shall we? And I'll come back with another crass commercial after we go into the silence. One of our newest things that I absolutely adore is identity-based-manifesting.com. That's one of the things that's come from us having hundreds and hundreds of calls with live people just like you over the years, exploring, you know what you need is some fine-tuning when it comes to your identities. And identity-based manifesting is all about that. If you got gold today, dive deeper, soar higher. Have a lovely day. And by the way, like, follow, share. Why not? If you're getting gold from this, who else could? Imagine blessing the world by sharing what matters instead of cat videos. See ya.